Inkfall is back with Kiwi Part 2, the survival horror story. I hope that you enjoyed the Part 1, and I hope you'd certainly enjoy Part 2 now. Days went by. Silas survived on kiwis. He lay under the tree with several branches beside him, all broken from his continuous attempts to leave the cave through the hole. He had eaten all the fruits from the tree, and he had nothing to eat any more. The monstrous noise continued as he stared at the sky from the hole in the ceiling. He could see birds from this place, flying in the open sky, eating, drinking, and then at the end of the day, going to their nest, not in a cave far away from their loved ones. Is that how bird and animals in cages feel? Freedom right in front of their field of view, but unreachable, no matter what they do. Silas had injured his leg earlier, so every time he fell after that, he made sure he would not get injured. He had dug the soil around the tree to make it softer. He still got injured many times, but never fractured anything again. A person can keep themselves slightly safer when they know about the danger than when they don't. Silas could hear the loud noises from outside. Sometimes it sounded very calm, just the soft chirping of birds. In such times he would try to move the rock from the entrance of the cave, but would fail. He had not eaten anything properly for days. Though kiwis are very healthy fruits, they are not enough to give proper energy to a grown up man. He had no energy left to shift the rock and was getting weaker and weaker. And now the new problem was here. Kiwis were finished. Silas thought maybe there would be something else in the cave too. He was desperate. He would have been all right even with rodents. But it was his luck that there was nothing else in the cave other than the tree that had no more fruit left to give. He kept walking around the cave and kept trying to get out of here through the hole, but failed. At night he lay again, staring out towards the starry sky. He missed his Ivy, his wife, a lot. He felt terrible, thinking what she must be going through at home. She probably thought that he died in the storm. She would be crying for her dead husband, who was actually alive. In the midst of his deep thoughts, he heard the growling from outside again. He scowled. Suddenly he was furious. He was stuck here because he wanted to stay alive for his wife, but his wife was probably crying already, thinking he had died. And even worse was that if he stayed here any longer, he might die from hunger. He stood up and looked around. He was overwhelmed and furious. He grabbed the broken branches and started to hit the wall beside the entrance of the cave. The branches broke into even smaller pieces soon. He went through his back. He tore it open, as he had no time to be gentle in his state. His stuff fell on the floor. He grabbed his tumbler bottle and started to hit the wall with it. Soon the tumbler was in a bad shape, so he shifted to a torch. The torch broke into pieces after a few hits. He was too overstimulated to stop even now. He kept grabbing stuff and destroying them against the wall until everything was destroyed. He ended up landing some punches straight to the wall in the end. The heavy rain and wind had done a lot to the entrance and walls. It just never came to him before that maybe he could break the wall and leave until he had an adrenaline rush. Thankfully, he was hitting the wall just beside the entrance as a huge crack appeared. His last few punches made a part of the wall fall down from the entrance, and the rock that was stuck in the place for so long finally slid. Silas quickly pushed it away completely and stepped out of the cave after a week. Though the hole in the ceiling let a lot of fresh air into the cave, the air that hit him now felt far fresher. He fell to his knees while breathing heavily. He was free. He stayed there, just breathing heavily. Then lots of emotions crashed into him, and he let out loud screams. It was like he was announcing that he won, that he would be going home to his loved one as well, that the birds in the sky can't taunt him with their freedom anymore. He completely forgot about the agonizing roars while he sat there. Before he could get into his senses properly, he heard them. The adrenaline rush hit him again. He grabbed a rock and ran in the direction of the noise. He was done hiding. He would not let that monster terrorize him anymore. He tripped over a rock and fell down on his face. A bunch of leaves were spread there, which caused his face to remain intact. He raised his head and saw a small bird. He stared at it. He wondered which bird it was. He pondered as the bird started to scream. The loud, agonizing roars! They were of none other than this small bird called Kiwi. Silas burst out laughing. He stayed in the cave and was terrified of a bird that was not even a quarter the size of him. Being tired and low on food had made the sounds thunderous when they actually were not. He threw a small rock in its direction. It was slow and wasn't meant to injure it, only to scare it. The kiwi rushed far away from him. Silas laughed at how easily he could have overpowered this monstrous cute bird days ago. He turned away and walked towards his town, to his ivy, laughing while holding a souvenir, one last fresh kiwi.